Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go-to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Whether you're just starting out or scaling up, this is your space to connect, learn, and grow alongside a community of trailblazing women who, just like you, they are making their mark in the world of business. From personal branding to powerhouse marketing, from leadership to lifestyle tips, we've got you covered. So get ready to ignite your passion, fuel your purpose, and unlock your potential with Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. Let's make this journey together and turn your entrepreneurial dreams into reality. Hi, and welcome to The Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest is the creative force behind Green Glass Entertainment, a film and TV production company known for bold, impactful storytelling. As a producer, director, and writer, her credits include First Nations Comedy Experience. Okay, that has to be great with you. You are comedians. That has to be fabulous. The Eric Andre Show, Sunset Strip, and David Finch's The Killer. She's a proud member of industry groups like Women in Film and the Producers Guild of America. And she's currently developing not one, but two buzzworthy series, Teen Angst and Born Again. With roots in comedy and mentorship from the late esteemed writer and director, Lynn Shelton, our next guest blends humor and heart to create stories that stick. Let's dive into the creative world of Tabitha Bohannan. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
You're so amazing. I cannot wait to hear your story and how all this came about in your life. So what really had you become an entrepreneur and actually in the film industry and comedy?
Well, actually, I pretty much, I joke and I say that I was born into it. I was named after Bewitched, the TV show. So my mother just kind of set the path straight from the get-go. And I just kind of always knew that this is what my life trajectory would be. I was a very involved in theater growing up. I was part of the Seattle Children's Theater Company. I did probably 2 to 3 plays a year from about the age of 7 to 17. Once I hit 17, I was a little burnt out on being on stage, and that's when I switched gears to wanting to learn behind the scenes. And I went to college and studied with Lynn, and she was amazing. And yeah, I eventually moved to LA and here I am.
So nothing in between. You were always an entrepreneur. Wow, that is fabulous.
Yeah. I mean,
what you wanted.
Yeah, I just and that's something I always really was so grateful about, is that I knew what I was going to do from, day one. Although if you ask my mother, there were a couple other careers that I wanted to have, because every kid wants more than one. And I did want to also be an archaeologist and a commercial airlines pilot.
You're both cool.
Yeah, very adventurous.
But they're both cool. They both have adventure involved in them. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure what you do has some adventure involved in it as well.
A lot of adventure. And that is, honestly, I think that's what keeps me in this industry, is that everything's always changing. You never know what's coming around the bend. And I love that. One of the things that, as a producer, a lot of us, like production management, joke and just say we're a special kind of crazy, because we thrive on the chaos and just you never know what's going to happen. So I think innately at the core, we are just born problem solvers. And that's really what has gravitated us to this.
The adventurous problem solver. That's our new name for you.
Yes, that's great. That's great. I love it.
So with problem solving and everything, how do you balance a work and personal life as a whole?
It can be quite challenging sometimes. Absolutely. Fortunately, for a good portion of us, we tend to, since we are entrepreneurs and we freelance a lot, we will be on a project for an extended period of time. Could be a week, it could be a couple of years, and then we'll have a break. So it does kind of balance itself out nicely in that, like when I take a vacation, oftentimes it's for a month.
And you actually get a vacation. It's not a working vacation.
Right. Well, sometimes it is a working vacation. It depends on what's in the pipeline and what projects are coming up. But yeah, usually I am personally pretty good at just taking a good month vacation. Often I go visit my family because they live in other states. So yeah, I take that downtime. I've really learned it's incredibly important for me to have, so that I'm not getting burnt out and I can be at the best of my game on the next project I'm on.
Especially with that time off. And I find that's the way to help balance us a little bit, because we're always on the move.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I need my sleep. I love to sleep. And so, yes, those extended vacations, that's probably what I'm doing.
That is a key thing to anybody. We need some sleep. So, what advice do you actually give to other women who are thinking about starting their own business beyond maybe not getting some sleep?
Well, I mean, usually what I suggest is just really kind of put yourself out there, test different things out, figure out what it is that you have a passion for. I mean, not everybody was fortunate like me to know that this one thing is my passion. It's something that just has been so embedded in me that it's a fortunate thing. But a lot of people, they know they want to do something different. They know they want to do something that feels important to them and is important, in the world. They just don't often know what that thing is. And so I always recommend volunteering. Take a day a week, 2 days a week, whatever you can spare, and just go and try out various volunteer activities. Be it, I used to volunteer at a horse rescue ranch. I volunteered with the Surfrider Foundation. I volunteered in early career on many a film, many a short film, many web series, just like whatever you think you might gravitate to and feel connected to, find a volunteer opportunity, because chances are there are some.
I've never thought of it that way. That's a really
that's usually my big takeaway. And I think that just birthed out of my own experience of, working in film. One of the things that we all knew going into it is you were going to intern, which is essentially volunteering. And, that's just how you broke into this industry, at least back in the dinosaur age. That's how you broke into this industry. And so, it just really taught me a good core lesson of, if there's something that I am finding myself interested in, just throwing myself into that world is the best way for me to figure out if I'm actually invested in that.
Awesome tip. I love that one. What about somebody who's maybe been in business for a little bit and there might be struggling with a few things? What would be a good tip for them to move forward past the struggle?
That is a hard question to answer. just believing in yourself, just thinking about myself. Trust me, you know, working in the entertainment industry, it's not easy. There are many challenges that you'll face, and it's just having that goal. It's knowing the thing that you're just trying to meet and just continually working on it and allowing whatever comes your way to just be a teacher. And to find like, okay, you know, oftentimes I do ask myself, you know, when something isn't going as smoothly as I would personally like it to, I look at every angle of it and I think, okay, what is it that this is trying to teach me? Because it's trying to tell me something. And what it's trying to tell me is, you know, there is something I'm missing, something I either maybe am internally feeling, that like, you know, going this path isn't actually feeling right to me. Or it could be, oh, I subconsciously know that there's an easier route to this and I am just overlooking it. So, I mean, like it's telling you something, it could be really anything. And so that is what I find that works best for myself is when things are just feeling challenging and they're not necessarily flowing, to just stop, step out of it, take a look at it and go, what is this actually trying to tell me?
I agree with that because that is just the main key. Because I mean, we all get no's, correct?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Especially in your industry.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you will get more no's than, you will forget there is a yes along the line somewhere. You've gotten so many no's. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that. I was in a business one time when I actually got 100 straight no's.
Oh, wow.
Really bad.
I mean, but that teaches you resilience and it really helps you hone in like what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So knowing that we get no's, knowing that life happens, knowing that situations come up, do you mind telling me what you've learned in business? What would you go back and tell that 18-year-old self?
Oh boy. So much stuff. So much stuff. Well, first I would give myself the advice I literally just gave, in, you know, testing the waters and figuring out what exactly it is that my passion is. I did, to full disclosure, I did float around in this industry for, I would say at least a good decade without having a real direction and knowing what angle it is that I actually wanted to go. We were speaking earlier, and when I was in college, I studied to be a director of photography. I've never been a director of photography on set, not once. I've never even run camera on set once, you know? So it just, yeah, I mean, oh, there's so much. It would just really be learning to have a focus and learning to have a direction, I think is the biggest thing that I, in hindsight, look back and wish I could go back to that 18-year-old Tabitha and tell her, have a direction. Figure out what that is and keep working for it and know that it's going to change, but have an actual direction as opposed to just being like, okay, I'm here, give me a job, you know? So that, I think that would be the biggest nugget of advice I would give to 18-year-old me.
I love the fact that you actually give advice, but you do it in a subtle way that makes us laugh. So thanks.
Oh, thank you.
She probably doesn't even realize that she does it, but that's what she does. All right. What is one key strategy that has helped you scale your business?
Connection, networking, being open to working with everyone, just saying yes. Oh, there's the movie. It's Jim Carrey's Yes Man. I think of that movie so often, it's kind of ridiculous how often I think of that movie, because for me, like, you know, opportunities will come up and I might be tired, you know, there's a screening that comes up or you know, a networking party or someone invites me to coffee that, you know, maybe I've met in passing, and I'm the whole work-life balance. I'm like, but I'm tired. That movie comes to mind. I think I should say yes. So yeah, it's yes. That's what it is. That's the answer to that question is yes. Say yes.
I see you saying yes a lot.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. How do you stay innovative in your business and then remain competitive?
Keeping up with industry trends, especially right now. This industry is in quite the shakeup, I guess you could call it. So it's a lot about learning what else is going to possibly come down the pipeline. I have been actually, for me personally, I've been taking some classes on AI. And learning what are the possible, AI softwares that as a producer, I might need to know about, or I might even need to know how to use. It's, with the influx of social media, and YouTube, it's knowing about those types of mediums and what they are capable of, and just how to navigate them. So for me, staying innovative is really having a good grasp of information and knowledge. Learning every country right now, every state right now is creating their own tax incentives. And as a producer who handles budgets and finances, I need to know that. And so I need to know about all of the countries, not just the US. I need to know about all of the states, not just California. So it's staying on top of the information that's out there and taking it upon myself to really just do the legwork to gain that knowledge.
Yeah, especially especially what you do with the finances and getting the money added back in is key to having a successful film.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
So can you share any plans or goals you have for your business in the future?
Well, right now my co-creator and I are working on, we're pitching a couple of TV shows. And so right now, I can't go into a lot of detail because we're on NDA with those, but hopefully will be putting out our own TV shows in the next year or two. So it's really exciting. And it's earlier I was talking about having direction, giving 18-year-old me a direction. This is what I finally figured out is just as a whole, I'm a storyteller. It doesn't matter what position I'm doing in this industry. My main job and what I give back to, everyone else, the audience, is telling a story. And I found that direction of creating those stories through my own words and my own experiences. So that's been really fun and really exciting. And I am so grateful and looking so much forward to see these come to life.
I can't wait to see them. They're going to be really a lot of fun. I'm a movie freak, so I can't wait to see them. The other thing is you talked a little bit about storytelling, and that is such an important part of anybody who's doing anything in life to be able to get something across. So can you give a little bit tips on storytelling or what it does to improve somebody in anything they do?
Absolutely. I mean, we're all living a story. We're living our life, which is, the best story we can be telling is our experiences and what we have been through. And what's so wonderful about telling your life is other people can relate. I did study psychology for quite some time, which actually really helped my storytelling in a way that you wouldn't realize it does, but it did, because I understood other people so much better that now when I create characters, I'm able to really understand the inner workings of different personalities and how they, you know, mix together, or what this event that someone experienced might, you know, bring up. And so, yeah, as far as telling stories, I think the greatest thing you can do, and even if you go back and you look at, you know, the fairy tales and fables that we've all grown up with, any of the, you know, books like Shakespeare, there are all these amazing stories. And as kids, even, we want our parents to read us books and tell us stories. And, you know, so I think life is just a combination of stories, different stories, everyone's stories. You know, I'm always so interested to learn about people and their life experiences, and it's that storytelling. It's lack of a better way of saying it, it's magical.
So since you already have the magical storytelling superpower, if you had another superpower for just one day, 24 hours, what would it be?
Oh boy. How to get all investors to say yes. If I'm being honest, that would be absolutely my chosen superpower. But industry aside, I think my superpower would be just knowing the needs of other people. Just innately, like, knowing when I come across anyone, what is it that they need today? What is it that that person needs? Do they need a smile? Do they need a hello? Do they need a good job? Do they need a coffee? That I think would be the funnest superpower to have. And at the end of the day, like, what transpired out of that? Talk about creating story.
That would be a super empath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be able to feel everything and know exactly what somebody would want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So what is one fun fact about you that not many people know?
Oh, I ride horses, and I actually started only 2 years ago. And I just woke up one day and decided I was going to do it. I had a dream that a friend of mine was trying to get me to ride horses, and I just kept in my dream saying, "You're nuts. Why would I do that?" I did not grow up around horses. I think I maybe had one friend who rode horses, but we never talked about it. And so, yeah, I just woke up and I said, like, that's a challenge. I'm going to take that and I'm going to meet it. And I completely have fallen in love with it.
Wow. Do you own your own horse yet? Or do you go to the stable?
No, not yet. I would love to someday. That's a goal. Someday I would love to, but yeah, not yet. No.
All right. What about a book besides any what you've written or co-authored? What is a book that you love?
Oh, my favorite book is Not Without My Daughter. It's I read it in high school and I loved it. And it's about a woman who gets stuck in the Middle East and has to escape with her daughter. And it's very it's about, you know, the treatment of women and their loss of rights in those countries. And it's very powerful. Actually, Sally Field made a movie. I want to say it was in the 80s. I believe it's in the 80s. She starred in the movie that is this book. And it's phenomenal. It's just, it was, back in the 90s, my first read about any of that type of treatment that women, you know, outside of the US would have, and it was very profound to me because I grew up here. And I'm very blessed and fortunate to have the rights and that I do have. And so, yes, this book is very moving, and I've told everyone I've ever met to read it when it comes up, and I love it. And yes, that book.
So it's on the book list now. Trust me.
Yeah,
all right.
Yes, it's great.
I'm probably going to cry the whole time.
You'd probably, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Favorite song that gets you moving and grooving?
I really love, gosh, every song. I grew up in the 90s in Seattle. So I think of myself as very musically fortunate. I don't know. I really love Bad by Michael. That's one.
Michael Jackson. Yeah.
I mean, you know, honestly, like anything from punk rock. I grew up on punk rock music, to classical music. I love all genres of music. And so, yeah, it's hard to choose just one.
It really is, especially when you're getting music created new, even for movies. I mean, you get those and you're like, okay, nobody knows them, but it's like one of my favorite, like, go-to theme songs, possibly.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember, and I cannot think of the name of this song, but every once in a while, like, I'll be watching a movie and a song will play in it and I'll get obsessed with that song. And the one that just popped into my head was Mean Girls, the movie Mean Girls, the original. And there was a song in it that was very, I want to call it, it's not techno music, but there's some techno elements into it. And I was obsessed with that song for the longest time. I will, you know, like I said, a song will come up and I'll play it on repeat, and it just, until the next one comes up, it's what happens.
What about a favorite quote? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, there's one that often comes to mind. I mean, I have many quotes that I love, but the one that I do tend to think about fairly often is Wayne Gretzky said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Mm-hmm. And I love that quote because it reminds me to do Jim Carrey's "Say Yes." Just do it. Just try it.
I love the correlation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's one of my favorite quotes. I do think of it often because, you know, like, it's so true. It's just so true.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a true statement. I mean, what we don't try, guess what? Nothing. It's not, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how do you stay motivated?
I think I stay motivated just by watching other people's art. I mean, if I'm thinking of it in the context of what I do as a career in my industry and my business, other people's film, other people's television, they motivate me. I actually just went to the premiere of Landman, Taylor Sheridan's new show, Landman, and watching that, a new show concept just sparked in my mind that, you know, I came home and immediately started fleshing out, because I was like, oh, this is a great, it's nothing like his show, but there was a thing that triggered it. And so for me, yeah, that's where a lot of my motivation comes from, is just having conversations with people, watching their shows, watching their movies, listening to songs. Other people's art really helps me stay motivated.
I get that. I love art, so I'm a little freak about it. So I love going out, doing the same thing. And you know what? Do you realize that the more you do it, especially in what you do, but the more you look at the different types of art there are and different things like that, it brings up more ideas in your head, like you said.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. That's why I have a co-creator. I I always say I am better in a group, because other people spark ideas for me, as do I them. And so I love the group dynamic. I love working with people. I just, even walking my dog down the street, I can see something in it, might spark an idea for a new, story. Everything around us is capable of having a story told about it.
So not to lose that idea, what is the best way that you remember it? Do you take out your phone? Do you record it? Do you write a note about it? What is your best way?
Yeah, I usually just take out my phone and jot the idea down in my notes. Otherwise, I absolutely will forget it.
It goes out the window.
Yeah.
I knew we will come in.
Especially when it comes to joke writing. If I don't write it down right then and there, it's gone forever.
All right. What is the best way for our audience to stay in touch with you?
They can follow me on my Instagram. It's just Tabitha_Bohannan. That's pretty much it. I don't engage in social media a lot. But I do have an Instagram. I do have a business Instagram, although it's just there. I haven't really put anything into it. It's just Green Glass Entertainment on Instagram. Those are the best ways to keep in touch with me.
That's awesome. And is there anything else you'd like to share with the female entrepreneurs out there that you want to discuss more with, or give them another tip?
Yeah, I mean, it's just go out there and do it. I think one of the reasons I've lasted doing what I do for so long, because this industry can be a very challenging industry to be in, is I can remember for as long as I've been able to, have self-thought, is somebody's got to do it. So why can't it be me? Mm-hmm. And so, I think having that mentality, having that attitude, if you want to do something, why not you?
Yeah.
Go out there and do it.
You never know where it's going to take you.
Absolutely. And you may start out at A and end up at Z, and that's okay. But at least you went, you did it, and you found the Z you wanted.
Yeah. Well, Tabitha, it has been a blessing having you on today. You are totally amazing. You have just boosted everybody's excitement to go out and do what they're called to do. Definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure to be here, and I'm so grateful. And it was lovely to speak to you, and I can't wait to see what all of those female entrepreneurs do.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.